Hey, do you ever think, why didn't somebody tell me that? I was sitting in the high school counselor's office yesterday with my son. He does college, high school at the same time. And we walked out shaking our head like, why didn't people tell us this before about some of the things that he needs to navigate between now, his junior year in college, and his junior year in high school, his freshman year in college, it's early, it's cold. Why didn't people tell me this is how you navigate this last part of homeschool? Why did I have to learn this on child number 3? It would have been so great if somebody had told me this stuff when my oldest, who's now 25, was 14, or when my second oldest, who's now 20, was 16. No, it had to wait. Hey, Erica, it had to wait until my Isaac is now 16. I just walked out of there shaking my head. Why didn't somebody tell me? Why didn't people tell me when my kids were little that the best thing I could do was put food in their mouth to satisfy their tummy, and then to keep my mouth shut and my ears open, and to truly listen to what my kids were saying? Oh, how many days have I wasted talking, and missing my kids' hearts? Why didn't somebody tell me? Why didn't somebody tell me when my kids were really, really little that their shirts have 4 clean surfaces? The front, the back, the inside front, and the inside back. I would have saved myself so much embarrassment. Why didn't somebody tell me that I needed to be looking for my chin hair friends when I was 20, so that when my hair was gray, and if life ever happened and I ended up in a coma, someone would come pluck my chin hairs for me, as they loved on my kids and made sure that my husband was well fed? Why didn't somebody tell me? You know, the truth is that people did tell me when I was 20, not 20, maybe 29. I did have people that tried to share with me, hey, Stephanie, tried to share with me about high school and college and shirt surfaces and chin hairs. And I actually listened a little bit at a time along the way. And I wish I could say I was faster at applying all the golden wisdom that I was able to glean. But that's why I wanted to come on with you, because that is my passion in homeschooling. My kids are getting older. My youngest is now 13. My oldest is 25 and married. And I want so much to be able to reach out and to tell you it's going to be okay. Your kids are going to make it. You're an incredible homeschool mom. God actually handpicked you to take care of those kids and to educate them. And that means he's not going to let you down. He's not going to leave you hanging. And he's certainly not going to cause your kids to fluster and fail just because you might not know how to write an essay or solve a certain type of equation. And I wanted to talk to you because that is why God had me create that Heart of Homeschooling God's Way class. And it is not your typical homeschool class. It is a mindset class. One of my friends said, she went to a liberal college when she was young, and then she spent the rest of her adult life trying to unlearn everything that she learned while she was in college. And as a homeschool mom, I was public schooled, and nobody in my family homeschooled before. So I've spent the last 20 years of my homeschool career reprogramming my brain. What does homeschooling look like? What did the Lord mean in Deuteronomy when he said, teach them diligently in the way they should go? What did that mean when he talked about the whole sun up to sundown thing? Bring them along with you as you hoe your garden and change the oil in your car, wash your dishes and do the laundry. Oh, we use different words, but that's what he's saying. Have them attached to your hip, Becky. And along the way, sow love and peace and joy and my word into them. And then when they're old, they won't depart from those promises. Why didn't I pay attention to that when I was younger? I wish I had paid attention more because I did pay attention and I did take notes. And over the course of the last, I don't know, 15 years, it's been my heart's passion to reach into the internet and to touch your heart so that you can learn these things too. Not because I'm great, because I am not perfect. My kids are not perfect. My life is not perfect, but God is perfect. And He's been there every single step of the way. And so I created this masterclass. It's a masterclass. It's expensive. It's going to be more expensive. Why? Okay, raise your hand if you've downloaded freebies, even from me or from other people out there that you admire and respect, and they've been put on your computer and you never touched them again. Guilty. And then I learned a powerful lesson this past summer. And I've been trying to figure out, well, how do I make some extra money while I'm barefoot in my kitchen teaching my kids? Because that would just be really cool. I've got 5 boys. I'd love to teach them how to do business from home. And I took a class. It's called Moolah, and it cost, I'm going to be totally transparent. That class cost me $1,000. Okay, I had a heart attack, and you probably just had a heart attack too. But you know what the difference is between that class and every other book and resource that I ever downloaded? I did it. I had spent good hard money, my husband's money, our money, but hard-earned money on a class to help me learn to reach you guys better. And it was a lot of money. But because it was a lot of money, it didn't just sit on my computer. I actually made time to study. I made time to apply the things. I made time to have the conversations. Now, the Heart of Homeschooling God's Way is not a $1,000 class, but it's also not a $20 class. And I started there. I started with it being really, really inexpensive because I don't want anybody to miss out. And yet, people are not, they're signing up for the class. The ones that do the work love it. It's like, wow, I can't believe that somebody's telling me this while my kids are still little. Thank you. And thank the Lord for those messages. But a lot of people at that low price just let the class sit on their computer and they forget about it. And you know what? I want so much more for you, not because I have so much wisdom and golden Beckyisms to share with you, but because I have sat under some of the most amazing homeschool moms, Christian women, and mentors that have taught me what not to do in homeschooling, and it's changed everything for me. My kids I've got 5. That's a lot of kids. And I don't want to panic that they're going to fail in life. And yet, as the Lord's taught me these lessons and I've applied them in my own life, and then, the best way to know that you understand something is to teach it to others. And you learn that if you teach Sunday school or anything, the teacher is always the one that gets the best lesson. So as I've been learning about how to homeschool from the inside out, the entire time I've been sharing those lessons with moms, either through over coffee or email or starting my blog or making classes, teaching workshops, mentoring one-on-one. And the thing that's been amazing is that as eye-opening and transforming these lessons are for me, it's more incredible and more beautiful for me to watch other moms' lives and hearts transform at the same time too. It's unbelievable. So I wanted to come with you and to let you know that I am here so invested to help you understand what it means to homeschool from the inside out. And the way that this class is put together, it's not a once and done class. Have you ever seen Finding Nemo? That part in the story where Nemo's dad comes up to Dory and he's like, hey, I'm looking for a boat. And she goes, I saw a boat. And then he's following her. And then a couple seconds later, She's looking at him over his shoulder like, what the heck is this guy doing? And then he says it again. And she's like, I saw a boat. Because she has short-term memory. And I have short-term memory too, in an embarrassing way. Like I've taught workshops before where I'm standing there and somebody is in the back that's taken my class before and they'll go, oh, Becky, tell them about that. And I'll sit there going, what? What did I say? And so as I've created this Heart of Homeschooling God's Way, I did it for a bunch of reasons because I have short-term memory. And I actually go back through my class myself and I was like, wow, Lord, that was pretty cool. I forgot all about that. I'm embarrassed. I am not perfect. So this class is meant to be your companion for your entire homeschool or even just parenting journey, to remind you that God's love is enough, that his word never returns void, that you can truly focus on the heart of your kids and love on them and enjoy them and teach them life skills and read and snuggle and discipline and correct and train. And it's all going to come out in the wash. Your kids are going to be, they're going to flourish later. You may go through valleys. I can almost guarantee that you will. If you follow God's ways, it will be challenged. The best way to know if you're actually on the right track is to have that feeling that everybody else and their grandmother is going in the opposite direction. I always tell my kids, you're following the Lord if you feel like a salmon swimming upstream. You have to go against the current and there's big bears trying to knock you out of the water, but don't stop swimming. Just like Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. So anyway, I'm here with the Heart of Homeschooling. You may not be able to afford it right now. It's at an early bird price for you. In the Heart of Homes, in the Our Lives of Homeschool Moms, if you're on my email list, if you're subscribed to my blog, right now it's on sale. I am adding bells and whistles to it. I am improving things behind the scenes, and in the next week or two, I'm going to increase the price again. You still might not be able to swing it right now. If I had seen this class when I was a first homeschooler, a new homeschooler, I would have had to put $5 or $20 in a jar for a long time before I could have afforded to actually take the class. But when I took that moolah class for $1,000, lots of money, oh my gosh, I shook my head. Oh, I wish I had taken that class 5 years ago, 6 years ago. When I think of all the moms that I missed being able to help, oh, it just breaks my heart. Lord, help me redeem the time. Time is short and the internet is powerful, and the ability to use modern technology to make friends online. I was up really late last night because my 20-year-old is writing this super chunky paper and he just needed to be able to read out loud as he was working. So I sat there exhausted till like 1:30 in the morning. But there were a few of you up way too late with me. And I was chatting back and forth with a few of the moms, and I was just shaking my head going, wow, Lord, how is it possible? Look at where I'm sitting. I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere, and yet the Lord has knit me together with moms like you. You truly are my homeschool family. That's a mind-blowing concept. And that's what I really want to be able to serve you in the Heart of Homeschooling God's Way, is to bring you deeper into the family, to give you a resource that you can fall back on when you forget. When my kids are struggling, I go back into there and I'll listen or I'll read some of the, there's 31 days of encouraging words type thing, devotions or quick thoughts. I'll go back in there and I'll read those one at a time. It's like, oh, that's right. Put my oxygen mask on first, then I can serve my kids. Or I'll go back in and I'll do the Bible study on who am I in Christ. Or I was just reading last night in one of the lessons where it reminded me that there are only two kinds of information: things we know off the top of our heads and things we need to find out. And our goal with that is just to find somebody to teach us. It's like, oh yeah, just like in the counselor's office yesterday with Isaac. That counselor knew her stuff with not graduating from high school, but navigating through this concurrent enrollment with college, high school, and then merging into a 4-year school. I don't have that information. So anyway, I wanted to give you a heads up because I wanted to let you know I've been working really hard on this class through mentoring and putting myself out there with my coaches, like, okay, how can I make this better? How can I make it so that when they read it, they go, oh, she gets it. She understands, she sees, God sees. How can I communicate that to my girls? And it's amazing. And I'm not patting myself on the back. I found this old story I wrote 12 years ago, and I was reading it, and I was like, oh, this is so good. And then it abruptly ended. I was like, what? I didn't finish the story? How was it going to end? Um, I'm such a spaz. Anyway, the heart of homeschooling is there. It is an investment. It will actually require time and coffee or tea and prayer and communication with me or the other moms that are in. There's a closed Facebook group, Homeschooling God's Way, where we're going to be a lot more active talking about what that really, really means, what it looks like, what are we struggling with? Because, we're all struggling. You may not have chin hairs yet, but you will. Well, you may not. I do, but it's because of the blood running through my veins. Anyway, there are lots of goodies. It is, in my opinion, there's a bunch of moms, not a bunch, there's a few moms in this group that have taken the class, and I hear back from them all the time about the way that they are just blown away. And I would love, if you have taken the class and you are watching this right now, I would love for you to drop what you've gleaned from the class, just to share wisdom so that people can ask questions. Is it worth it? I don't know. When I took that marketing class and I started to get access to people that knew what they were doing and they were way further down the road than me, I asked myself that too. Is it worth it? Is it worth hard-earned money to take this class? And I am hoping that they will answer those questions for you so that it's not just me. So take a look at the Heart of Homeschooling God's Way. It's there for you. It's a forever resource. It's not going to teach you how to solve math equations or how to decide whether or not you should do this kind of curriculum or that kind of curriculum. Instead, it's going to equip you to be confident and energized and filled with peace, and to rest as you invest in the hearts of your kids, because it's a marathon journey. It's not a sprint. And I want to be there with you. And if, should the Lord take me before I think it's my time, that's my legacy. That class is my legacy for you, for my grandchildren that I don't have yet, for my future daughter-in-laws, should they allow me to be a part of their lives. I would love to have these resources for them and for my grandkids and my great-grandkids. And so it's with that heart that I've created this class. It's not something that you will finish in a day. It's meant to be enjoyed over a cup of coffee, a bite at a time. The lessons are 10 to 25 minutes long tops, and the class keeps track of where you are. So if you're in the middle of a golden goodie and you see a boat, you can go chase the boat, and then when you forget where you were, the class keeps track of where you were for you. And you can rinse and repeat it. It's a lifetime access, and I would love your thoughts. So go check it out. Get your little jar and start setting aside, pennies here and there. And I'd love to see you inside the class. If you want a sneak peek at what goes on and what some of the golden goodies are, come join the closed Facebook group. I'll add that link after this populates. Come join the group. It's for moms that are seriously looking at the class and seriously motivated to invest in the hearts of their kids. And you don't have to be a current student You just have to be super interested in the class, because that's the whole topic of conversation in that group is what's going on. So anyway, I'm freezing. I came outside because the lighting was so beautiful, but I'm going inside to be warm. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. As you are scrolling through names and seeing what people are doing and what they're struggling with, take a second to pray for them, because we all need each other out here. So anyway, have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.